Hi everyone, welcome to Value. So today we're going to look at GameStop, and the biggest question today is, has everything stopped? Has the whole trade of GameStop kind of reached an end? I think so, because basically the clearinghouses that basically control everything in a sense, they've found a way to stop everyone in their tracks. The minute the stock goes up, they just have to increase the deposits of the brokerage firms, and then the brokerage firms immediately limit the amount they sell, or they stop selling completely. So now the clearinghouses know how to deal with everything. And mind you, the clearinghouses are the people also backing the short sellers right now. Then basically it's a rigged game. Every time the stock goes up, they will stop everyone from buying. They will short it, so the stock price drops a lot. They will earn so much out of it. And they'll let you bargain, which is what I'm noticing. Like basically, they will stop it for a day or half a day, and then let you buy for the next half a day, because they know how to stop the brokerage companies in their tracks, which is basically a rigged game. You can't beat these guys now because they figured out how to win. So which is, yeah, like kind of brings us to an end, and it's a tragic, especially for the people who are in the stock right now and potentially looking like they might lose quite a bit of money. Like there could still be a bounce and it could still go up, but I think the whole situation of taking it to the big guy has probably basically gone now. And now it's about your own risk management of how you deal with everything now, because if you still hold, it's a matter of how do you deal with your risks, particularly if you're looking at like a 60 or 50% loss or something like that. Particularly if you brought out a high price and you're hoping for things to go really well. I think basically the game's rigged now so that it's hard to do well. Like originally, we and everyone could get together collectively, buy up the stock, and then just cause a massive short squeeze. That would have been the game changer. That would have really pushed the price up quite a lot. But now that the clearinghouses, so if you don't understand the whole process, every time you buy with your stockbroker, they have to send they send that order to the clearinghouse, who actually is the actual organization that sorts it out. They take a small deposit, usually a few percent of the overall sale price, and then they sort it out over that 2-day period. But now they're saying to the brokerage companies, you might need 100%, or in some cases 200% or more, which is crazy. Why would you need over 100%? It's it's clearly them basically rigging the game in their favor. And yeah, I guess it's very evident, because for a company that basically like Citadel, who has whose kind of uses like a few $billions to help out a company like Melvin Capital. It's clear who their allegiances are to. So basically, they have a lot of money to lose if they don't do something like this. But they can also say, well, with all this volatility, we have to increase our deposits just so we don't lose any money, and we're protecting ourselves. But in a sense, they know how to squeeze the brokerage companies now, and the brokerage companies just can't raise enough money to keep up. So they're really forced to basically go, well, we can't keep up with these deposits. We don't want to go insolvent, so we're going to stop selling these stocks to our clients for a while. And then until the clearinghouse goes, actually, we're going to lower our deposit rates again, and then you can sell them to your customers again. So that's why they're like halting it for a day, or putting limits on for like a day or something, or even half a day, and then allowing people to buy, push it back up. And the minute it gets pushed quite high again, they put that freeze on again, increase the deposits that brokerage companies have to pay. They stop selling to their clients, and immediately the stock falls again, and it falls right in the favor of all people shorting the stock. So in a way, like if you're shorting it, it actually works in your favor these days. So it's a tough one for a lot of people, particularly everyone that's wanting to really see this kind of movement continue. I think the movement's kind of reached a halt now, and as you can see by the share price, it's reached this peak here, and then everyone knows what the whole game is, and now it's being unraveled. So yeah, like hopefully, there's a big bounce, and then a lot of people can kind of reduce their positions and get out. But if not, yeah, like a lot of people are looking at a large loss. That is going to be a reality, and hopefully no one put like their life savings in there. Like hope that's, yeah, like in a general sense, you should never put your life savings in something that risky to begin with. Hopefully it was money that just people put in that was just money that they wouldn't lose sleep over. They wouldn't worry if they lost it. These are the type of situations where people do lose a lot of money, and then they start to feel like, oh, the stock market's kind of, it's too risky. Never buy stocks again. Like, I mean, if you buy into something like this and you lose a lot of money, that's like not true stock investing. So I kind of realized, like, people do this and then they get a really bad image about what stock investing is. But really, stock investing is about investing in businesses, and GameStop was a business, but it didn't have this value. And anyone buying in at these values was essentially paying too much. But as it's getting around this $90, I think it's possibly, it could drop a bit further. Like, yeah, it really depends on the whole GameStop fundamentals, where it holds up. But yeah, it's definitely far, it's fallen so much from like the peak of like 400 or 300, and then, yeah, if we look at the chart, when it was last trading at like 200, yeah, and then just dropping to like 90. I mean, that's definitely a shock to a lot of people who really brought in hoping for that next squeeze up. But I think, yeah, the clearinghouses are on the side of the short sellers. Short sellers know how to play this now. So every time the price goes up, they short it. The clearinghouse increases the deposits required of the brokerage companies. Then basically the brokerage companies stop selling you those stocks because they're like, we can't do this because it's going to cause us to go insolvent. And then, yeah, basically the stock falls because everyone panics, they sell. And then basically it's a repeating pattern until the stock is left to ashes, basically. Yeah, and the real winners after that is the short sellers. So we went from a situation where like a lot of people cause short sellers to lose a lot of money. Now you're causing short sellers to earn a lot of money. So I think it's best off to just finish off GameStop and go like, we stop buying into this company, because the big companies have figured out the whole strategy. They're working as a collective, they're one company that works in unity in a sense. But whereas with the whole, Wall Street bet crowd, everyone's like diamond hands until, something goes wrong and everyone panics and they can't really communicate in a joint unit. And it's all scattered approach, and everyone sells, causing, a whole domino effect. And that's kind of what happens. Like when it's going up, everyone's all good. When it's going down, no one's good. No one's happy. No one's talking to each other and going, we should hold, Everyone wants to protect their own situation, especially if especially if you've made a large gain on your current position. A lot of people will have an incentive to take out a large position of their gains. Some of them might leave a little just to keep the things going, but overall I think it's enough selling that it basically ends things there. And yeah, like as much as short sellers were the ones that were losing, I think they're the ones that are winning right now. So yeah, I don't think it's probably not how we wanted things to end, but we also knew that was how things are going to end. If you put the price up of anything, it's going to go up, but eventually it's going to go down in a very horrible way. Same thing with AMC. Sadly, the AMC one was very short. Yeah, like it was just really like it just as AMC was starting to do well. Yeah, the clearinghouses came in, and obviously things are stopping around this around this pricing here, unless AMC can justify some fundamental value. which probably need to open their theaters. Yeah, I think it's possibly the end as well. So I think anyone in these positions probably need to readjust their risk kind of assessment and go, what do you do next to reduce your loss exposure or the risk that you could lose even more. But yeah, like hopefully you guys didn't pile in as much. Like I think a lot of people did buy stocks in AMC and GameStop, and that potentially gives you, like it exposes you to a lot of risks, particularly when we're playing a rig game. It's difficult. Like even I was like thinking that AMC was going to do really well, particularly if a collective bunch gets together. But the fact that your brokerage says we're not going to sell you the stock anymore, how do you win? You can't push the stock up if you can't buy. Like I know in the US, they've like in Robinhood they've limited how much you can buy to like 1 or 10 or but around the world, some brokerages aren't even selling it to you. So that's the problem. It was a whole collective effort of the whole world. And then, like these limitations in the US, but what if the thing is they've stopped a lot of selling internationally as well. So I think that just like breaks everything down, and then no one can the whole world can't get together and buy up the stock anymore because they literally can't buy it. Like some people are limited, some people can't buy it. And hence why, I think it's officially over, as much as people want it to continue to go on for. But again, that's just what I'm seeing anyway. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing what the clearinghouses are doing. I'm seeing what the brokerages are doing. And I think people are just taking the money off because a lot of people have quite a large position. Like some people surprise me how much money they literally put into something this risky. As much as it was fun and it's for a movement or whatnot, there is real risks and you can potentially lose your money. So I think people, so at the end of the day, they still have to be very responsible for what they do. But yeah, I think it's very short-lived. Like I think you got to recognize the situation. Originally, before the clearinghouses stepped in, it was the game. It was an amazing game. It was unlimited potential that these prices could go up, who knows to how much. But now that the clearinghouses are coming in and they're basically rigging the game in favor of the short sellers, I think it's very difficult to win. Because like you can't win a game when you can't literally buy stock, or you can only buy a limited amount. Like collectively, like even the whole world working together might not be able to buy enough stock to really push this up. And now the short sellers know that the clearinghouses are working with them. Basically, I think that's the end. But that's what I'm seeing anyway. You could see otherwise. But I'm just saying, you just probably want to watch what your exposure is to these stocks right now. And you probably want to buy something with more stronger fundamentals. Because like we're looking at other stocks too. Like it could be like BlackBerry, who has also been limited in sales. And they've been dropping quite a bit recently, from their peak of like $28. So yeah, like it's not a great end for retailers. Far from that. And yeah, same for Nokia when it reached $7. Which was actually one of the more short-lived stocks, because it went to like $7, and after that it just failed to even get close to that again. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. If you got any questions or comments, post below. Hope you guys don't get to, like you didn't lose too much in this. Or if you made a profit, that's really good. Like anyone that got out early made a really nice profit. And anyone that stayed in, I hate to say it, it's just not, it hasn't turned out in your favor. I guess I hope you guys didn't lose much, and I wish you luck with investing and that you make it back in the future, of course. Until then, I'll catch you guys later.